All right, guys, I have a great one here today. So I want to start off by talking about this is a guy, he is Muslim, I believe. He's from Saudi Arabia. He comes to Canada. I mean, he's huge online, right? And he's got like almost 20 million subscribers. This video he made has 17 million views, and it's called The Zombies of Canada. And like it's mainly white people, and they're mainly, on drugs. He goes to Vancouver and he looks at all the zombies. I don't even want to get demonetized and show it. I'm going to put a link to it just because, it could show, some not nice scenes, let's put it that way, right? But I'm not going to show that. But you can just see this clip, like the guy's bent over and he's obviously addicted to drugs. It's a sad situation. It does happen largely in the white community, and it sucks. And the thing is, a lot of people are saying to me in the comments, I am very happy with like 90% of the comments. But I mean, I'm going to illustrate what people have been saying about some of my other videos. It's unbelievable. But this guy comes here, not from Canada. He says all this stuff. And honestly, you might be surprised at this reaction. You shouldn't be. I love it. I think this is great. He makes a documentary, he exposes it. Now, I don't think he's saying, oh, every single white person's a drug addict, or all Canadians are like this, or all Canada's like this. Why don't you show the good side? Honestly, this video makes Canada look terrible, and he's only showing the bad side. But I think it's great because he's pointing out the truth. He's giving his perspective. And look what a lot of people say. Like, they're like, it ticks me off like that the government does this. Sadly, as a Canadian, I can see this is happening across the nation. Let's see what else. I lived in Vancouver most of my life, and I can tell you 10 years ago, I would never imagine watching a documentary as bad as this. It's very sad. Let's see. As someone who lives in Vancouver, I thank this video because I've seen so many kids. It's going to bring up awareness. This guy, let's see here. What does he say? As a Canadian, I'm glad foreigners are seeing this and can hopefully push the government to do something. Now do San Francisco. So everybody likes it pretty much. If you go through the comments, right? And you say like you just say, look at this. That's what's going on there. Nobody says, hey, why'd you come to the country? Why are you showing our bad side? Nobody's saying this. But then yesterday I make a video like this, and I say, Indian immigrant in Canada explains sad reality. I'll just go up here. And then I'm going to show the comments on this. Reality of an immigrant. Okay. And she says, you are an Indian in Canada, and they will always think that you're working at Tim Hortons or a gas station. And then she goes on to say, even if you are, you get a good job, even if you buy a house, even if you go on fancy vacations and kind of showing off. And I'm just pointing out, no, that's not true. Canadians don't think that you will work at Tim Hortons or a gas station if you do well. But then I said, like showing off is not really typically a Canadian value, to be honest. Now, of course, some people do it. But it's not a good thing, honestly. Now, I'm going to just show some of the comments, and I just want to have a discussion about this. This is what a few of the comments were. Again, I like a lot of them, but it's just unbelievable to me to see any like this. Let's see. Okay. Someone writes in, how is buying a car or a house an issue? What was up with that cattle or cow analogy? Honestly, that was pretty easy to understand. My man, there are plenty of people who vlog and show their lifestyle. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You guys are paranoid with immigrants. No, I'm not. That's just like we need to have a word in English about this where you're accusing someone of racism, but it's false. You're saying I'm not able to comment on what I see going on in my own country, even though I think that guy from Saudi Arabia totally allowed and welcome to comment on what he sees are the negatives of Canada. No problem. I don't even think she's trying to show off. I guess she's trying to break a stereotype. Okay, well, I'm trying to break her stereotype that Canadians think everybody works at Tim Hortons or McDonald's no matter what. That's just ridiculous. Okay. Next, this guy, bro, everyone does it, even white people. Not all Indians are doing this. Yeah, I never said all. Okay, not all Indians are doing this. Only a few people. Just don't pay attention. Go on with your life. I agree. It's stupid. Well, at least he agrees that. When you make videos, you sound like you're jealous. I'm not saying you are, but it does sound like it. Well, believe it or not, John, I'm never thought about being jealous. But okay, if that, I'm shocked if that makes me sound jealous. But what can I say? This guy says this is the worst one. Says, don't do this. You are just spreading hate in society. I'm an Indian, and trust me when I say it's not the Canada which I knew 10 years back. Canadians are known, are most welcoming people, but now not a single day goes by without a racial remark. I'm not sure if you're talking about in your own life. If that's true in your own life, I feel bad for you. Okay. As I've said many times in many videos, I never say anything to somebody's face. It's not like I'm hiding. I'm just telling the truth behind the scenes so people can have a conversation. But I never go up to someone and say, like, I'm going to say a racist remark. That's ridiculous. You're worried about the future of your kid, but you're saying I'm spreading hate. So, but you're kind of, don't you see the irony here? You're sort of spreading hate about me because you're saying I'm a hateful person when I'm not, and I'm doing my best to just be honest and open. And you're telling me I'm hateful, and it's false. So I'm not sure if you can see the hypocrisy there. And then this guy says Canada is a racist country. Now Canada is not one race, but you see how that's very discriminatory? Like now you're saying all Canadians are a certain way, and you're so comfortable saying this kind of thing. And then if someone says something about Indians in general, you freak out. But I'm not going to freak out. But okay, you say it's a racist country and don't welcome us and never welcomed us. We're like one of the most welcome, probably the most welcoming country of all time, but we've been taken advantage of, and our government is stupid. Okay, but it's like naively stupid. But we're like the most welcoming country of all time. So Canada only belongs to the indigenous people and no one else. Well, not really. That's just not really true. Okay, so that's a complicated thing, but no, it doesn't belong to the indigenous people and no one else. I guess if they successfully kicked us out, then it would. But I think we're being pretty reasonable with them. You could even say maybe more than reasonable. And I am going to make videos about that relationship too and how I think that can be improved. But I think if you hold a Canadian passport, it belongs to you, whether you're Indigenous or not. And passport holders are allowed to think, hey, who else do we want joining the country and who don't we? And if we decide that we don't have to just let everybody in because you're, thinking about the history, um, you know, with that. Next one, I just want to play a little clip here. Let me see where we are. Oh yeah, this one. Check this out. I like these two. I might play this in a separate video in case anybody's dropped off by now. But these two are really cool. I think I don't know too much about them, but they're Twins Hangout Kenya. These are two young girls in Kenya, and they're just calling their shots, as they see it, and they're great from what I can tell. Really interesting, nice people, and they just call it as they see it. Now they're talking about like Indian quote unquote hate or fatigue in Canada. Now this guy, let's see what he has to say.
Honest opinion. There's a reason the South Asian community, particularly us Indians, often get side-eyed in Canada while other immigrant groups they quietly integrate, build lives, and create opportunities. We seem to thrive on chaos. Why? First, entitlement. Somewhere along the way, we forgot that moving to Canada was a privilege, not a right. Instead of adapting, we impose our culture, our noise, our ways. It's one thing to celebrate Diwali, it's another to turn residential streets into a rave, completely with firecrackers and traffic jams. When people call us out, we play the victim. They don't understand our culture. But maybe we are the ones who don't understand the value of blending in respectfully. Then there's our obsession with shortcuts. Fake marriages, fraudulent job offers, under the table work. It's no secret. Instead of playing the long game like other communities, we want instant success, even if it means bending every rule. And guess what? That doesn't just reflect poorly on the guilty, it tarnishes everyone, the whole Asian communities who's here to build a life. And the infighting, oh, it's unmatched, man. While other communities focus on lifting each other up, we seem to be determined to tear each other down. Gossiping, backstabbing, case politics. We have imported all of it here. Instead of building a united front, we are busy dividing ourselves, making us weaker and easier to target. So why are we hated? Maybe it's because we refuse to take responsibility. We are loud, unapologetic, and often disrespected of the very system that gave us a chance. And when the backlash comes, we scream racism added that absolves any of the wrongfulness. But here's the truth: Canada owes us nothing. We came here for a better life, and we've been given opportunities many can only dream of. It's time to stop acting like the world owes us, to stop creating problems where none exist, and to start respecting this country and ourselves. We have so much potential. Let's stop being the problem and start being part of the solution.
Man, that guy is unbelievable. I'm gonna have to do a separate video talking about what he just said. So is he racist against Indians? He is Indian. So that doesn't make any sense. I agree with him. So why am I a bad person? Why is anybody called racist if they agree with that take? It makes no sense.
Immigrants.
Okay.
They
Go to
are.
them.
Canada was not ready for it. Also,
Okay, someone please
This robotic
You know
puppy
what?
is so
I'll show those girls' reactions in a separate video, but I'm just trying to paint a picture of what's going on. Now, to get back to the thumbnail of the video, I said, which worse? And I show like a white person bent over, with some kind of addiction, I guess. And then the other one was, looked like a middle-class Indian with a, decent car throwing trash in a Canadian forest. Now, I don't know which one is worse. They're both bad. And every single person in Canada, and even if you're not in Canada, has a right to talk honestly and openly about any of the problems and try to be open and honest to give fair solutions and reasonable solutions to those problems. So you can call out cultural stuff when it comes up, and you can say, hey, maybe there's a cultural weakness or something at home where, Western parents aren't really taking care of their kids, or there's too many single parents, or not trying enough in school, or like whatever it is that's, making them feel hopeless and, living on the streets with these drug problems. Talk about it. Let's make it a better place. But calling anybody, like just calling anyone racist who's commenting on this stuff, you are really part of the problem and need to have your head examined, your attitude adjusted, and just start thinking about it, listening to the words. Now, if somebody says, like, I'm hurt by this, or, it's very reactionary, I'm not hurt at all. Honestly, I literally, like, I feel bad, like, that's the discourse. But I mean, just in terms of the intellectual content of some of that, I basically just laugh and think, wow, it's shocking to me how really anybody can watch a video and just draw the total wrong conclusion. It shocks me, and I just like laugh at it. It's like if I say 2 plus 2 is 4 and they say, no, no, 2 plus 2 is 8. Haha, you're an idiot. Like, that doesn't make me feel bad. I just think, really? Some people think that? Okay. Um, Unbelievable. So thank you to everybody who's been making like really good, reasonable comments, sharing it, subscribing. Like, the channel's doing very well, and I really appreciate the positivity. I got a lot of good stuff coming up, but I just wanted to throw this one out there that I don't think I'm being hypocritical, and this is to any naysayers out there. I'm going to put that documentary, by the way, in the comments so you can go watch it. And it looks very bad on Canada. It looks very bad on white Canada. And I'm totally fine with that, even though the guy making it is from the Middle East. I think that's great that he made it and drew attention to it. Maybe that'll get our government officials to move a little faster than the incredibly slow and pathetic speed they normally move at. Anyway, hope you like this one. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.